Hi guys, it's Mrs. Davis. Okay, so we are still in our Google Docs Beta Bear. Um, Another important thing to learn on Google Docs is how to complete an outline. Now, I am a big fan of outlines. I use them all the time. Um, you can see I went ahead and set up my page. I used the right align to have my name, the date, and the class period. I used the center align, shows you right here, and bold and 18 to create a title. I'm going to do an outline about goats because I like goats. Now, in order to get down to the next line, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now, just remembering that it took that formatting with it. So over here, I want to turn my bold off. I want to take this down to 12-point font. For some reason, my highlighting is turned on. I don't want that. There we go. Now I want my outline to be left aligned. So right here, I'm going to use my left align tool. Now, if you're familiar with an outline, it's a great tool. It shows us main idea and supporting detail. So it's excellent for either taking notes from something that you've read or you're watching, or pre-writing for something that you know you need to organize well. So right over here, we have some more tools. We have our numbered list tool and our bulleted list tool. Now, let's say that I've got several pieces of information here. There's the bell, sorry about that. Let's say that I want to talk about meat goats and I want to talk about dairy goats. Now, I could do a numbered list. So I just click on it and goes ahead and puts that the numbers in there. And if I were to hit enter, it's going to give me another number. Very handy. If I were to hit tab at this point, it would assume that I am kind of going into some outlining. But we could also do a bulleted list. So if I just click on the bulleted list, it gives me bullet points. If I hit enter, it gives me another bullet. If I hit tab, it indents and kind of goes into its own little outlining thing, more with symbols than anything else. I can always change my bulleted list by using the drop down. I'm a big fan of the stars. Do things like that. But again, this time I don't want to do bullets. I don't want to do numbers. I want to do an outline. Now, so right here under the numbered list, I'm going to use this little drop down menu. Boop. Now, it has lots of different types of outlines. This center bottom is your most traditional outline format. It uses Roman numerals for your main ideas and capital letters for your supporting details. So here, if I have my meat goats, it's telling me I'm going to separate my information into two big ideas: meat goats, dairy goats. So I'm going to put my cursor here at the end of meat goats, and when I hit enter, it's going to give me a Roman numeral 2 and push dairy goats down to 3. See? I don't want that though, so I'm going to use tab to indent and label that as an A. I always tell my students, if you have to type the Roman numerals or the capital A's, or in a minute I'll show you the numbers, if you have to type any of those, something went wrong and you need to fix that. Auto formatting should do that for you. So let's see, what are some things I know about meat goats? Well, they are muscular. They are usually stocky. And they usually are, let's see, grown for meat. Okay? So when I say that they're muscular, I can add details to this even. I can hit enter. It pushes that down, but if I use tab, there it tells me more about it. So each time I indent, it's saying, okay, muscular, it has to be talking about meat goats because it's indented underneath it. This number 1 is going to talk about muscular because it's indented underneath that. So it's kind of a system that works together. So let's see, they're muscular. they have strong shoulders and hips. Because they're stocky, that usually means they are not very tall. And they're grown for meat, which means they usually are harvested before turning a year old. Dairy goats, on the other hand, if I hit enter, it's giving me Roman numeral 3. I don't want that. I'm going to hit tab, A. So for this one, they are less muscular, more prominent bones. And I'm going to put a detail in here. They have pin bone hips. Now, this is interesting. So here I have a 2, but I want a B. So here's the trick. I'm going to hold down Shift on my keyboard, and I'm going to tap Tab, and it goes backwards. So Tab will take me in, Shift Tab will take me out. So then they are, dairy goats are usually a little taller. They have longer legs. And they are kept for milk, which means they can be kept for longer periods and bred for milking. So there we have our nice little outline. So I want you to think about something that you could just put into an outline. Anything that you can put into a web, you can put into an outline. Below this video on the Beta Bear Academy, I will show you the web version of this same information. So you can see how the web and the outline are so closely connected, but the outline is visually a little cleaner, and it also is very helpful for taking notes. All right, give that a go. Again, this is a hugely important tool. Please take the time to learn it.